this. Stop it. Come on, just work with me here. Mm,
The last 5 minutes of every class, the scholars are asked to complete a survey. We value their feedback on Thursday. Have game day. This is where they can take post assessments from weeks worth of class. Oh, okay. That's Thursday. What I've normally ignored, I now have to pay attention. Make sure we cover everything.
yeah.
Next slide. Sorry, it's got some.
I don't like doing too much the pre and post what they were doing before. Other cameras, they know that. Tiana for class. Yeah, I told her I was gonna call her Dr. Mimi. I'm not even gonna attempt to say her last name.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that for her. Say
Dr. Mimi.
we weren't doing stuff twice in the beginning. Come on. I know she said she's gonna ask me to read SOAR's vision and mission statement. I'm like, I hope it's in her slide deck.
They should have given her.
Yeah, she said she had it.
Let me log on because I want to make sure she has.
I looked in the email. Toya gave her the post assessment for a review. And then the other one, Toya sent it to her in the other email. It has a bilingual and the other one. So Toya sent it to her.
Yeah, but the mission statement, I don't know. I don't know if she, and I doubt she has access unless they put it in her Google Classroom thing.
I'm about to check the slide deck. And then I'll let her in just a minute in case she has some questions. But I wanted to bring up so don't look like we don't know what we're doing, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like wait,
Uh,
business is tonight, right? Fundamentals of business.
yes.
All right. Let me see. Proprietary statement. Well, that's on 3 different slides. Oh, because she said over, in other words, small versus activity. I think she mixed these classes. Goods. Oh, I'm not even used to seeing this set anymore. Yeah.
Well, she can get the mission statement off of the Let's SOAR.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking in the slide deck. Yeah, this is, oh wow. Are you gonna write a clear statement? When she asked for it, she says she wants them to read it. So
Yeah, the mission's right here on the site. It'd be easy to get to it here.
okay, because she's gonna ask for that the vision.
She's gonna have to pull that up.
I don't know how savvy she is in pulling that up. Let me have it. I'll do it just so to be there, just in case she wants to have them do it. One thing I could not tell. This is what I needed your help. When I was sharing last night, did it have my face and did it have the agenda?
No, but when I don't know if you saw it, like toward the end, it wasn't sharing at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, you were just basically talking. It was just showing you. It wasn't sharing anything.
Okay.
But in the beginning, it's shared, and then the last time when I think Rosie said you're not sharing, that's when. But other than that, after that, it didn't share either.
Okay, I'll try to do it where you can see both. So it's trying.
Share.
All right. But did it show? I wanted like where it showed the person and it showed the document. I think that's where I was.
I know. It just showed the document when you did share.
Oh, God. Well, I'll put the mission and vision. I'll have this. Let me pull this out in case she asks me for it. All right. All right. Now the links I don't have pulled up. The ones I didn't have those pulled up yet that Toya sent that for them to do I see the scholar survey, but I don't know which one that's for that one.
She must have sent 2 emails because. Okay, Jeremy. Okay, yeah. See. Okay, so after the class presentations, fundamental business. I'm gonna put that out. Okay, she has the filing. I got that one open, and then
Okay.
the other one.
I got the end of it. That's banking, management, business entrepreneurship. So that says 318 though. That's in this one. So
So
you know what? I'm in the wrong
Toya,
one.
where did she put it? In the chat. She gave us in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and log on because I don't want her to feel like,
I got
she
it.
has a couple questions. I'll log on.
Yeah, I'll let her in. Hold on. That one came up. It's in the attendance, the survey for it. It's in the attendance.
Yes, yeah.
I see
I think I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her. I'm just trying to orientate my my screen. I'll let her in.
Okay.
Like so it doesn't mess up the sound. Hi, Dr. Mimi. Here. Hi, Dr. Mimi.
I don't know. Oh, there she is. Okay. Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Yes. That's better. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So you're ready and ready to go.
I am ready to rumble. So I was just thinking, I have some notes, right? In the deck that I have on my end, and I don't know, the notes, the deck you're sharing, would the student be able to see the notes?
No, if you do the presenter view, they won't see it. No. When you share on your
Mm-hmm.
end, it'll just, you put it in presenter view, they won't be able to see the notes.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Mimi. It's Tiana. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tiana?
Good.
And if I see it, I'll let you know because it should be
Awesome.
in presentation mode.
Yep.
You should be able to see the notes because it'll be a presenter view. You should be able to see it on here, but they should be able to see it when
They
it's in
should be able
presenter.
to see. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought. All right, that works.
But I'll let you know if it's
Let me know, please. Thanks.
with them.
Are we ready to let them in? Do we have any other questions you want to ask us before we get started?
No, we should be fine. I mean, I just had a conversation earlier, where we talked about the breakout session or the introduction. After the introduction, I guess at some point, one of you get to give them a pre knowledge quiz or something like that.
Under Menti?
Correct.
Yes. Um, Crystal, do you have the Menti link up already?
No, I don't have it up yet.
I didn't get to
Yeah,
the
so I
link.
think we should get that going before we let them in.
Okay.
So I have severe seasonal allergies. I know that, you know, the flowers are blooming before they even start. So you're gonna, my eyes were a watery, my nose were run. So it's nothing
Oh,
important,
boy.
nothing serious, just an FYI.
No problem.
I know the flowers are about to bloom even before they do.
You're like a beacon, letting everybody know
Yep,
that it's coming. The pollen is starting to come.
yeah. Pollen is coming. Get ready. It's crazy.
I can't find the Menti link. Well, I know it's menti.com, but I don't know the password.
I have the password.
Okay.
Hold on.
So
I'll
at
put it in
what
the chat for
point,
you.
so there's the first, second, third slide. At what point do you do the pre-test? Is that after my introduction or after goals for today?
Which way would you like to do it?
I think that after we establish goals for today, which is slide number 6, right? I think we can then no after slide number 6, which is I'm not here just to talk, right? I think after that we should do the test. Where we give them house rules, cameras on, mics off, only turn it on when you're talking and all that. Then we can go into that. So after slide 6.
Okay. Because you
All right.
can, let me give you sharing too. Giving you, so you have ability to share your screen now too. So I gave that to
You
you.
gave it to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
so when you click share, you shouldn't have any problems sharing.
Yeah, because usually they do the quiz before you start getting into any of the content part anyways.
Right.
Usually they do the
Right.
quiz.
Uh, I am so busy. My screen has so a lot. I don't know if I want to even I have like a million things happening at the same time. Chrome tab, entire screen.
Did you see it from Titiana?
I'm sorry.
I said, did you see
So
it
can
from
you all see?
It's coming. I said it started sharing, so we don't see
Uh,
anything. Now we
you
see
don't
it.
see it? Okay.
I see it
So
now.
I want to ask you, can you see the notes?
Yes. Yeah, put it in slideshow
You can
because
see
we
the
can see the
notes?
note. Yeah, I can see the notes.
So I should put it on what slide?
You see slideshow at the top
I see
next to, you see
slide.
share at the top in blue. And to the left of that, it says
Yeah,
slideshow. Click on slideshow.
I see Zoom tab. I don't see slideshow. It's sharing this
So next to your
tab.
share, it should say slideshow. There's another little tab next to it.
The tab says, let me see something. It takes me back to Zoom. This is what, can you see? It takes me back to Zoom.
So at the top of the right hand corner, do you see share? Like a little
There
toggle.
there is share, but
In your
where it says
PowerPoint.
stop sharing.
Yeah, within the PowerPoint.
Oh,
And
within the PowerPoint. Let me.
Or there's a little, usually like a little screen looking.
yeah, I don't see it in
Uh-oh.
there. I think that's
Oh,
Google
wait. Did
Docs.
she
That's like,
go? Is she still here?
yeah, I
Dr.
still see
B?
her. Hmm?
Okay.
Her
Yeah,
audio has to, her audio has to
okay.
reconnect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now
Okay,
your
we
audio
got
is connected.
7 people waiting.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Dr. Mimi, if you're talking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back here and see if I could share. Let me do window fundamental business share.
Now, I did click on the Menti myself, open the link, and it has the old class in there. I was trying to reload it, but it keeps reloading the old names of the people that used it last, I guess. So,
So I think I was able to get it to slide to the slideshow. It's loading. Let me know when it gets to your end. When it
okay.
opens up in your end.
You're in Google Classroom right now.
Oh my God. All right. So in case you haven't noticed, I am not IT side. Like I'm not a tech person.
Okay, now
Okay.
it's up. There you go.
Okay. So y'all can see me?
Yes. And we see it, and we see the slide. We don't see the notes. So you're good with that.
But I don't see the notes either. I don't see the notes either. That's
Oh,
okay.
yes, one or the other. If you're presenting, right? I don't think you can see your notes unless you
Oh,
have
I
it
see. So can one of you
set up a certain
present
way.
then?
The presenter's view, it should be able to see the notes. And when you share your screen, you share the one that doesn't have the notes. Let's see. I can bring it up and share, and you're just gonna have to let me know to change the slide for you then.
Yeah, please. Until
All
I
right.
can figure out what's going on because here I can't see the notes. And I do need the notes. I have like a gazillion things going on. Okay, exit full screen. Okay. Am I still sharing?
No.
No. Mm.
That's crazy. All right, you can let them in. Oh my God. All right.
Let me bring up.
Dr. Mimi, how do you pronounce is it Nkwepo?
So the N is silent, right? So it's Kwepo. So
Kwepo.
I
Okay.
was just telling Crystal earlier, don't worry about the last name. It's my husband's name. And I keep telling people forget about the N and just say cuerpo.
Okay. Okay.
It's quite a tough. The ends are usually the beginning alphabets, and most of those African names are usually silent. So
Okay.
it's cuerpo. So go
Okay.
with the K and forget the N.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
easy enough.
yeah, yeah. It's cuerpo. So I would say it's easier to just say, Dr. Mimi or Mimi. I'm very easygoing. Doesn't
Okay.
bother
We'll,
me.
we'll, we'll stick with Dr. Mimi.
Yeah.
Okay. We got 9 students. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Are we ready? We want to wait a minute.
We're ready. You can let them in.
Okay.
As ready as can be.
All
So we have
right.
9.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
If you
everyone.
are
Thank
just
you.
joining, welcome. Sorry we are starting a little bit late. As y'all can see, I'm not young, so I'm really, really IT challenged. So the nice Miss Tiana and Crystal has been helping me out. So how is everybody doing? Thumbs up, thumbs up. I need all cameras on. Thumbs up if you're doing great. It's gonna be a fun class, and I need everybody participating. I want to see some thumbs up. I see, Itesh. That's how it's pronounced, right?
Yeah,
That's how it's pronounced?
yeah, it's Ash. Yeah.
Okay, Itesh. Okay, good. I want to see some thumbs ups. Good. I see that, Jesslyn. All right, who else? So I'm gonna take down names because I want this to be a very, very interactive classroom today. I'm not going to be the only one talking, and y'all will find out. If you don't interact, I will call you out, okay? And the reason is because if you were the orientation, I mentioned that you are only going to get what you put in out of this process, right? So I need everybody to be ready to talk and read and have fun today. I believe that when you're having fun, learning is easy. I learn every day of my life, right? Some people will say, oh, she has a doctorate, she's done. I'm going to be learning from some of you. I'm going to be learning from some of the stuff, but every day is a day that you have an opportunity to learn something new. So, are these all we're gonna have today? Or are we gonna wait for some more people, Tiana? What do you take? I thought we are gonna be expecting about 15 to 20
Think we
students.
should move forward.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, yeah, some come in a little behind just because they're either finishing up something that they had earlier on. So, yeah. And I still
Okay,
need to kind
so
of reach out.
awesome. All right, so slide 1, fundamentals of business, right? So we're here today to basically um, get a foundation in terms of say fundamental foundation, the foundation into what business is all about, what it takes to be a business owner, how to go about creating a business. We're going to look at what steps we need to take. What are some of the things that we need to have to lay the right foundation to start a business? All right. So we're gonna move along real quick, but there are times when we're gonna stop and just have a conversation so we're all on the same page, right? So slide 2, I'm going to put that up and I'm going to stop there because remember how I said we're going to interact? I would like for us to all participate in this class so we can all be learning and having fun, like I said, right? So who knows what SOAR is all about? And I am willing to just let anybody take a stab at this and then before we move on to the next thing. So who in this room can tell me what SOAR is all about? Should I call names? All right.
Like
The
helping
lucky
kids with
pick is
stuff.
Niana, right? It's Niana? Okay, tell me
It's
what do you say? What would you say to somebody SOAR is all about? If somebody was to say, what is SOAR? What would you say?
Like helping kids like get more experience in business field and like learn new skills.
Awesome. Awesome. So now, Jocelyn, you next. What would you say?
I would say that this program is helping for like financial literacy, help people get into business fields and be able to navigate the world as an adult.
Awesome, right? So basically, SOAR is a nonprofit organization that is decided that, we need to get our young adults to get the understanding or to know or understand or have the knowledge of what it takes to start a business or what business is all about, right? So that's what SOAR is all about. So as we go into the program today, as we keep learning today, I want you to keep in mind that we're going to talk about businesses, but we're going to talk about profit and nonprofit organizations, right? And so think about SOAR when we talk about nonprofit organizations, because it will be an easy example because you know what SOAR is all about. And if you are here today and you don't know what SOAR is all about, please, please do me a favor. After this class, you do yourself a favor to go do a little bit of reading and digging of what SOAR is all about, right? Because it also gives you an understanding of why you are here, right? And it helps you long run. So if you haven't read about it, please do me a favor, take it as an assignment and go read a little bit about it. All right. So moving along, right? So back to what we're here doing today. Who wants to tell me what a business is? What is a business? I already mentioned that they're non-profit and they are for profit. This is just us. I'm trying to get you all to talk. We've not even started class yet. I'm trying to make sure that everybody's relaxed and they can talk. We're just going to be able to have a nice conversation today. Class hasn't started, so feel free. Don't worry about is the wrong. There's no wrong answers. To me, there are never any wrong answers. There's an answer, and we can dive deep into it and explore and figure out what the person is trying to say. But they're never wrong answers, right? So, who wants to take a stab at what is a business?
A business is like something that works towards meeting their clients' needs.
Awesome. Great. Who was talking? I'm going. Was Hitesh? Okay, I'm going between two screen. All right, thank you, Hitesh. I like that. A business. You know, who else want to take a stab at it? Who wants to say
Um,
something else or add something to what
I would
Hitesh
say
just told us?
a business is something to give your customers or like your clients goods or services.
Awesome. Awesome. Good. Who was speaking?
Harlem.
Who was
Everyone,
that?
if you could just mention your name before you give your
Mention your name
answer.
because I'm going between two screens.
Yeah.
I'm just making notes so that I make sure that everybody participate. I wasn't joking when I said everybody is going to participate, right? So if you said something and I don't get your name, then I'm going to call you out again. Okay? So great. So, business, is basically what, your cohort has just said. And a cohort means somebody that you're studying in a group together with, right? So it's an organization or a company that engage in commerce, typically involving the production of goods or services, goods or services, right? And a lot of times it's for profit, and sometimes, in our case at SOAR, is not for profit, right? Is offering a service or offering services to people that needs it and not looking for any sort of financial benefit in return, right? So let's go to slide number 3, Crystal. Thank you. So slide number 3 is basically, we're putting out somebody who is in business, somebody that looks like you and me, why they decided to do the business, And this is just, getting you all to think, right? This slide deck is going to be in, Google Classroom. If you want to go back and look into it, please, by all means, do that. And if you have any questions after this class, make sure you reach out. I'm willing to answer questions. As long as it's going to help you become a better professional, a better adult, a better business person, I have no issues with answering questions in class and outside of class. Okay. So, any questions? No? All right. So, let's go to slide number 4. So, who is Dr. Mimi Kwepo, right? Who am I? I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm hoping that at some point, if we have time, if not today, maybe tomorrow, I'll get to know you all a little bit more than just names, because we're in this together, right? We're part of this journey, and I would like to know just more than your name, right? So I am, Dr. Kwepo. I am an author, I'm a leader, I'm a professor. I also teach at Thomas Edison State. I am also a chairperson for the Dean's Board for School of Management at Thomas Edison State. That's where I got my master's and my doctorate. I am just a leader, and I do multiple things. I'm also a businesswoman. I usually joke and say, if you think about it, I do it, right? So that's who I am. So if you have questions in any of these different areas, let me know, and I'll find time and we'll talk. And if I can in any way be a support system, please do not hesitate to reach out. Okay. So slide number 5. Our goals for today. We are going to all be involved in this class. Everybody has something to say and something to give. Okay. So please make sure that you're contributing, because it's important that you put in, work so you can get something out of it. Okay. So we're going to be talking today. Everybody is going to be involved. We're going to look into the fundamentals of business. Basically, I usually say to my student, is basically the foundation of starting a business. That's what this is all going to be about. Okay. Any questions? I can't be that good. All right. Slide number 6. So let's get some house rules in place, right? So I'm not just going to be doing the talking today. We're going to need some mics or cameras on. If your camera is not on, please turn it on. I want to make sure that you're present. I want to make sure that you're here. I want to make sure that you're participating. I want to make sure that you're listening, right? I want to make sure you're part of this class. So I do believe that we are only as good as our weakest link, right? I could be the one of the weakest links, but if I am putting in the work, I am participating, I'm part of the team will carry me along, and I'll become a stronger link, right? So let's all be present, ask questions, take notes, very, very important. Participate in the trivia that, we're going to give later, and another one at the end of this class. Be open and share. You have plenty to give. You don't know it, but I promise you that you will be impressed with yourself as you start interacting and start speaking as well. So I will pass it over to Tiana and Crystal, and I'll be back.
Okay. All right, students. Tiana's gonna put the Mentimeter actually in there, your pre assessment of the class, and then you guys will log in and take that, and we will go from there.
So please, everybody needs to participate. We need so we can know where you're at, and then know that you got what you needed to get from the class, and we can better assess you, knowing that the class was
This
helpful.
this is the Menti link, correct? Okay. I just put the link, everyone, in the chat. if you could click on that and log in.
Let us know
Miss
once you're in. You could just give
Missy,
us a,
I'm sorry.
go ahead, sorry.
Missy, are you able to put it on the screen, the Menti, so we could see
Yeah,
the interaction?
yeah, 1 second.
For me, it's saying something um, like, please reload your browser or contact us at hello@mentimeter.com, and the quiz won't load. So it's loading, I think, for some reason.
Yeah, let me, I got that a little earlier. Let me just check.
Mine's doing the same. Let me join and log in.
I think it was the one that was for like the in-person class. I think that's what I'm guessing.
No, so the we need a code. I don't think we have a code. If you just go to menti.com, you'll get a link, but you need a code, and I don't have a
Oh,
code.
So was anybody able to get in? Or no?
Oh, it's saying wait for the host to start the quiz.
Okay, I see Michael is shaking, like nodding. So Michael is saying that he's waiting for the mentor to start the quiz. Anybody else? Yep, Nicole is nodding. Nania, you too?
All right. I don't know if we're gonna be able to play this because
Okay, so can you read out, is it possible to read out the quiz and then, let them go into the chat? No?
well, that's a problem. So it needs a code, and we don't have a code. I don't see a code. So I'm trying to, let me see. I'm trying to go back to all the information that was given to us.
It's taking,
Okay.
it's just taking a minute to load.
Okay, yeah, this might not be the right link. I know she gave, 1 second. I'm so sorry, everyone.
That's okay.
Let me just.
So why you're trying? Are we back? Crystal, are we
Yes.
back?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so it's fine. Even though we're not able to get into to the whole thing, this is fine. I was happy that we were able to, each share our thoughts on what we want to do with the class. So we're moving along now, scholars. So the next slide talks about what makes a business, right? So do any of you understand what makes a business a business? Do you know why a business is a business? And anybody can answer.
Because
yeah,
it gets
because
profit.
Okay, sorry, who was that? Who was the first person?
Michael,
Michael, go ahead. We're listening.
I was gonna say because it gets profit from services.
It gets profit from services or products, right? So that's a good one. Who else was that, Hitesh?
yeah, I would say that what makes a business is basically it has to make a profit, as he said, and also it has to be something that's different from other businesses that solves a problem or something that's unique
Correct.
that attracts
So
people mostly to make money.
good, good, good. Anybody wants to take a stab at it?
Wait, can I add something?
Sure.
It solves a problem.
Awesome. So as you can see on the slide, right? A business needs revenue to survive. To get that revenue, it needs customers, right? So a business is everything you all just described. It's, it's a company or an organization that has a service or a product to sell, right? And you sell those products to your customer. Now, for some businesses like the nonprofit, they have a service to meet the needs of certain people. Like in the case of our organization, SOAR, we have to meet the needs of providing you all with the knowledge and the information that you need to be better professional, right? So that's the service we are selling, or better adults down the line. So a business basically has products or services that it sells to the consumer, which are the customers, right? Um, is that clear? Any questions? Remember how I mentioned earlier that there are two types of businesses, right? There's a non-profit and there's for profit, right? It's straightforward. You all know what that means. A profit business makes profit, right? They sell to make a profit. Not for profit business is non-profit. They just want to provide service, or they provide services to people that need them. Okay. Any questions? Awesome. All right. So we're going to go to the next slide. The next slide, we're going to talk about small business versus big business, right? So small versus big business. So the slide on here, if you had taken the quiz, I know that this was one of the questions on the quiz, because I looked at the quiz a few days ago. So what makes a business a small business? What makes a business a big business, right? In America, the Small Business Administration says a small business is any business that have less than 500 employees and less than 7 million in total annual receipt or income, right? So if you think about a company, it doesn't matter if they have 750 million, right? As long as they, if they, as long as they have 500 employees, I think I said that wrong. Even if they have 5 million, but they have 700 employees, they are considered a small business, right? If they have 8 million and they have 300 employees, they are considered a small business. The reason is because if you have one of the two, if you have 500 employees or 7 million, either of the two, it makes you a small business. If you're below, it makes you if you're below, it makes you a big business if you're above, right? So 501 makes you a big business. $1,001 makes you a big business. Does that make sense? Yes? Are we getting some nods?
Wait,
I kind of don't
so
understand this part.
Say what?
I kind of don't understand this part. It's like, so you said that if it's above 500, it's a small business, and if it's above 7 million or so, it's a big business. If I'm right.
No. So it's either or, right? So if a business, so I'm gonna explain it. Don't worry about what it says on the slide, right? So this is slide number 8, Crystal. So if a business has 500 employees, okay, or 7 million in total annual receipt, right? They are considered a small business. Now, if that same business hires one more person, so if they have 501 employees, right, and they have 7 million, they're going to be considered as a big business because they're one employee above what the Small Business Administration classifies as a small business. Does that make
Okay, yeah, I
sense?
get it.
If you get it? So 501 makes you a big business. $7,001 makes you a big business. So you need to either have 500 and below or 7 million and below to be considered a small business. Okay? So if you have anything more than 500 or more than 7 million, that makes you a big business.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's why I know that it's complicated the way it's worded, but you have to look at where it says does not consider, right? So I'm gonna read it so that you're so listen to how I read it, right? So in the US Small Business Administration, for its purpose, does not consider a business with more than 500 employees or 7 million in total annual receipt to be a small business. They do not consider anybody, right, with more than. So I think this is where I'm going to switch that. I think this is where it gets complicated because it says the receipt to be a small. So it does not. So pay attention to the does not consider.
excuse
Okay.
me. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What if a business has less than 500 employees but makes more than $7 million in revenue?
It's a big business. It's either or, right? So If you have 500 employees and you make 500 and make 5 million, you're going to be considered a small business. But if you have 500 employees, right? If you have 501 employees and you make 5 million, you're still considered a big business because you're one above the number of employees. It gets really technical, right? But is that clear?
Yeah.
I'll repeat it again. So if you're a business, right, and you have 500 employees, it's either or. It's either the 500 or the 7 million, right? So if you are a small business and then the next year you hire one more person and you had 500 people, now you have 501 employees, right? Even if you only made 5 million, you're going to be considered a big business because you have 501 employees, because it's either the employees or the funds or the numbers of like the quote unquote how much you make. That makes sense? Everybody, are we good?
Yeah, he shook
Yeah.
his head yes.
Okay, good. I'm trying to see everybody, gauge everybody else. If you have a question, please do not let us move forward. Ask, right? That's why we're here. I'd rather we stay on here a little bit longer, but you understand what we're teaching you, right? Because it's important. And we could talk about it again later. But it's either or money or employees. If it's one employee above, you're a big business. If it's $1 above the 7 million, you're a big business. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next slide. Thank you. Now that we've looked at big business and small business, we're going to talk about, we're going to get into our first activity for today, right? So what I want each and every one of you to do is to take a couple of minutes to write down a business that they would like to do, right? So I have an example on here. Says, for example, a coffee shop. So just take 2 minutes to write out something like a business that you like to do. Let's start it off that way. Okay. So as you can see here, it's a coffee shop that also doubles as a shared office and small meeting space, right? Maybe you just need a place to take a phone call, or you need a spot to work for the day. Coming out of the pandemic, people will be working more remotely than ever, right? I think this is than ever. So as you all know, coffee shops became like a go-to spot, right? While you're taking your 2 minutes and writing, I'm just gonna just put a little bit of information into this. Remember when I said you're trying to do something that a lot of people are not doing, a niche market, like a business that everybody else is not doing? I think after the whole pandemic stuff, coffee shops that had like little office spaces, areas like area that required for people to work, they really blossom, right? Because there was a need of that for that, because most companies did not bring people in right after the pandemic because of fear for cross contamination or for people getting sick, right? So that's an example of, okay, somebody thought about, okay, I can have a coffee shop, but I can also make this coffee shop be an office space, right? Where people can use to have meetings. They can work out of there, when they don't want to be at home. Yeah. So I just wanted to touch into that. If anybody has any questions, we can go into it. I want to get thumbs up once you're done with you know, with writing down your business idea.
Sometimes we also have them put a D in the chat when they're done, when they're not always able
Yeah,
to find.
that's a good one. You can put a D when you're done. So once we get 11 Ds, we can move on. So please, let's be present and let's get this done. I promise you, we're gonna look into this later, and we don't have to ask. I know people might not want to say they're done thinking we're gonna ask questions. I have issues with allergies. Sorry, y'all. I see a few D's coming up. Nicole has a D. Nicole C. Hitesh. Shreya. Let's keep them coming. Yeah, good job. Omo Bolaji, good job. All right, Michael, got you. Jocelyn, good. Nicole A, good. Okay. What are we missing? We have 8. Stephen, we're waiting on you. Maria. Are they still with us?
Yeah, Maria's still here.
All right. What about Stephen? Stephen, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. Can somebody let me know when Maria and Stephen are done and the rest? We have, I think we have Maria, Stephen. Who else hasn't given us?
Yes.
All right. So we're waiting. I'll come back to check. Stephen, Maria, and who I think we have one more person that's still I think I counted 8. We have 11. So we're gonna move along, but I'll come back to check and make sure that everybody wrote down a business that they would like to start and why. Okay. Listen, scholars, we're going to build off of this, right? So there's a reason why some of these activities, we're asking you to do them. Trust me, we're not just pulling this out of any hats. There's a reason why we ask that you participate and you take notes and you write some of these activities because you're going to build up on them, right? You'll find out, I know that we mentioned this, you probably heard about this before, but I will mention it again. At the end of the project, you're going to have to present us with either a business plan or something that you came up with through participating in the class. So it's important that you take part in all the activities. All right. So now we're going to move on to industries, right? So what is an industry, right? Steven, what is an industry? What do you think an industry is? That's slide 10, Crystal, sorry.
You're asking what's an industry, right?
Yes.
Is that we're not showing?
No, I'm asking. I just said slide 10 because I just said industry without even checking with you, letting you know. So, Steven, can you tell us what's an industry? If you are trying to unmute, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
A group of companies that compete with one another to sell similar products.
Okay. So what that means is basically, I'll give you an example, say with the pharmaceutical industry, right? So pharmaceutical industry, what do they sell? Hitesh, what do they sell?
Medicines and all that stuff.
Exactly. So that's an example of an industry. So the pharmaceutical industry, it's a group of companies that they sell medicine. Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer, they make medicine and they sell. So they all in the same industry, right? Can anybody else give me an example of another industry?
I would say real estate.
What's that?
I would say real estate.
Okay, real estate. Give us an example of the different people that are involved in real estate. I can give you the name of the company. You have an example?
Like a broker, but I don't know an example of like a company, but like I know that there are brokers involved in real estate. There are
Yeah,
like people that want to buy properties, and then there are people that want to sell properties.
correct. So the real estate industry basically have a group of different companies that they buy or sell houses, right? So that's good. They build houses. So you have not every state has the same real estate builder, right? So you're gonna have like Hallmark Homes. You have like there are a lot of them across the board. Ryan Homes, they build and sell houses. So that's a good one, right? Anybody has an example of an industry that they want to share?
It'd be entertainment.
Exactly, the entertainment industry, right? A group of different brands that sell different kinds of, music. Some of them do movies, and it's not one person that makes all the movies, right? It's not one company that does all the music, right? So the entertainment industry, they sell music, they sell movies and different things. So that's a good one. So do we all understand what an industry is now? So I like the real estate industry. I got into buying houses and renting them and selling them. That's what I like, right? Somebody is in pharmaceutical industry. They work for people that make medications, right? So a group of companies that compete with one another to sell similar products. That's an industry. Are we good? Everybody's good? Awesome. All right. So the next slide, we're going to talk about goods versus service, right? Or versus services. So what's the difference between goods? What's the difference between service and the goods, right? So I'm going to ask Shreya to read for us. You can read the goods and somebody else is going to read services.
The goods.
Good job. Good job, Stephen. Go ahead. We're listening.
The goods producing sector includes all businesses that produce tangible goods. Generally speaking, companies in the sector are involved in manufacturing, construction, and agriculture.
So what that means is that good producing industry, they produce an actual good that you can touch, that you can buy. For example, you can go and buy a chair, right? They produce the chair was manufactured and produced something that you can touch, right? So the difference between the goods and service is, we're gonna get into service. Service is something you provide, right? You might not be able to see a service, but you can provide a service. Does that make sense? I would like to see some at least nodding or thumbs up or something, right? So does everybody understand what a good producing sector means?
Yeah.
They produce goods, tangible items, stuff you can touch, you can feel, you can grab, you can buy, you can hold, right? Um, so that's the difference. Generally speaking, this companies in this sector are involved in manufacturing, construction, and agriculture. So if you are a farmer and you plant you plant tomatoes, right? When you sell those tomatoes, people can actually buy them and hold them. That's a good, right? So those are goods that people can actually buy. If you construct a house and I buy that house, that's actually a product that I can buy, right? That makes sense? All right, so we're going to move on to service. And I'm going to have Harlem read for us. Harlem, you're not on, you have to unmute. Did we lose you, Harlem?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you repeat what you said?
Can you read the service producing for us? So it starts where it says the service producing sector includes.
The service producing sector includes all businesses that provide services but don't make tangible goods. They may be involved in retail and wholesale trade, transportation and finance, insurance, real estate, arts, entertainment, recreation, accommodation, food service, education, and such professional activities as technical services, healthcare, advertising, accounting, and personal services.
Thank you so much, Harlem. Thank you. So was that clear? I think it says what it says exactly what it is supposed to say, right? Or what it means. Like I said, you can't touch service, right? If you go to a restaurant and you eat, you pay when you eat, right? They provide you with a service, right? So service producing sector, include business that provide services but do not make tangible goods. So you can't touch service. If I was to sell you a bottle of water, you can grab that water and say, thank you, ma'am. But if I was to talk to you about something which I was selling you, like I'm saying, okay, I want you to pay me for being your coach, right? You pay me for my services, so my coach services, but you can't really touch coaching, right? It's not a tangible item, but you can buy a service, right? Like coaching. Okay. Any questions? All right. So we're gonna move on to the next slide. The next slide basically
Dr.
we're
Mimi,
gonna
Nicole did put or cleaning services in the chat.
awesome. Yep. I love that. So who put that? Let me go. I can't see the chat. Who wrote that?
That was Nicole.
All right, Nicole C or
Nicole.
Nicole A?
Nicole A.
Awesome, Nicole. Hey, I'm gonna put a star. So I want us to participate, and I like that. Even if we're moving on, or you have something to say, even if we go past the slide, you can type it in. You can write it in. It's perfect. I like that, and I'm gonna go back and look at the chats. Right. If you were all here in the orientation, the students that participate and do great are the folks that are going to be able to travel to Costa Rica. And I want to see you participate. I want to see you involved. I have another class on Thursdays. On Thursday next in 2 days after tomorrow. Yeah, the 27th. So I'll go back and look at my notes and I'll come back ready to ask more questions as I get to know all of you, right? So where do I start is the next slide. The question in the next slide says, where do I start? So write down your business idea on a paper, draft a vision statement, draft a mission statement, validate your ideas. So before we go into that, I want us to, Krista, do you have our mission statement for SOAR open?
Yes, 1 second. Let me switch.
Yes. So I want us to look at our mission statement that could guide you in writing your mission statement, right? And we're going to talk more about it so that you have more time to go back and work on it. But I want us to take a look at our vision statement and our mission statement. Okay? So we're waiting for Miss Crystal to get that up for us. Thanks everyone for completing the task one. C. Morgan.
I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay. Harlem, did you send us, did you put a D that you're done with your mission statement? Because
Yes,
I don't see it.
I did.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm gonna go back and look. Awesome. So our mission statement, SOAR. So I think it goes. So we're gonna do the vision, but I think yeah. Okay, good. All right. So who wants to read our vision?
Me
Thank you. Let's go.
to excel as an academic organization with national and international recognized programs showcasing inner cities youth potentials while promoting values, integrity, respect, and academic achievement.
Okay. So thank you so much, Steven. Thanks for volunteering and reading. So what is our vision? Our vision is basically to to excel as an academic organization, right? With nationally and internationally recognized programs. So our programs are basically to showcase inner youth potential in becoming entrepreneur business people, but we hold our values, which is like promoting values, integrity, respect, and academic achievement. We want you to be better professionals. We want you to be better scholars. We want you to do better in your future endeavors, right? That's why SOAR exists. That's the vision of SOAR. When Rosie thought about SOAR, I'm sure she's thinking, how can I be able to make our youth better, nationally and internationally in academics and in other areas, right? So that's the vision. So a company's vision is what the company wants to do, what they want to achieve, right? What they want to, like, what am I gonna, what do I want people to know my company as? Like, what am I here to do? What are my visions? Where do I want to go, right? So let's keep that in mind as we move along with the program. Who wants to read the mission?
I can read the mission.
Thank you.
Me?
SOAR Hospitality and Travel YLC Inc. is a 501 nonprofit empowering youth in underserving communities to excel academically and lead in hospitality, travel, business, and entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Nicole. See, thank you very much, right? So that's our mission. So what's going to happen is you're going to take a few minutes to write out, you know, your vision and your mission statement. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? So before we even get into this, I just want you all to remember that it doesn't have to be perfect, because as you grow in the process and as you become, business people and professionals, you're going to this mission statement and vision statement is going to evolve. It's going to keep evolving until you get to the final one. So when I started my business, I don't think the mission statement I have today was the one I started with. I started a business many years ago, and with time, I've slowly updated it to where it is today. So when you write, don't think, oh my God, this doesn't make sense. This is crazy. Again, there's no idea that's crazy. You can only fine tune an idea or make an idea better, but no ideas are ever crazy. All right. So let's write down, on a piece of paper or on our notebooks. I'm hoping that you have some notebooks because you don't want to write on paper and lose it. A draft for a vision statement and a mission statement. And once you're done, just put D on the chat, okay? So we're at 7:34. I know we started like about 6 minutes or 7 minutes late. I don't want to keep you any longer than I'm supposed to. So some of these things, I might say, okay, go back and look, and then just um, reach out if you have questions. But I want us to make sure we touched on everything that I think, it's important and I need you to know, okay? How are we looking? Good?
Have about five in there.
Okay.
What we can do while they're finishing up is just take like a 5-minute break and have them come back at 7:40.
Let's do
Okay.
that because I think it's been long and it's been very interactive, which is why it's long. So I want to just applaud you all for being awesome. It's been like one of my best class I've had in many, many, many months. Everybody is involved. I am so proud of you all. I'm so happy that everybody is in this. So we're gonna take a little break, so that when we get back, we can just go through this and power through it. Okay. So let's take the 5 minutes break. Nicole, what time are they coming back?
7:40.
All right. So at 7:40, we're all gonna be back here. Please be on time so we can, get you in and get out on time. Okay? All right. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Crystal, and thank you, Tiana. I'm gonna be here. I am just gonna go through some of it. Okay, we're waiting on Joss. Is Jocelyn there? Harlem, are you there? When you get back, please turn on your cameras. And Bella is joining us. Bella was running behind, but she's here now. It's nice to have you in class, Bella.
I believe
So it's
Kayla is also joining.
Kayla. So it's a very Kayla. So it's
Kayla,
a
yes.
very, very interactive class. I call people out, I ask questions, I need everybody involved because I need to keep everybody alert and we need to be having fun while we're learning. So welcome, Kayla and Bella. And the two of you can wait back and we can just have a quick summary of what we discussed earlier before you joined. Okay. So right now, what your peers are doing is they took a break, but before the break, next slide, please. Before the break, I just gave them time to write out um, you know, craft out a vision statement or an emission statement for their business, right? So if you're still working on that, that's fine. At some point at the end of the class, I would like you all to finish and let us know you're done. I want to make sure that you at least took a try. You had a try in writing a mission statement and a vision statement. Okay. Again, all of these, at the end of this project, you're going to understand why we ask you to do some of the things we ask you to do. Okay. So moving along, we're going to move on to what is a business, like the business model canvas, right? That will be the next slide, Crystal, the business model canvas. Um, you go back up. Business model canvas is up, it's up. The business model canvas is right after take 5 minutes away. Let's set the vision. So it's I think in your end is slide 14. Next one. We have different, it looks like we have different decks. Okay. So I'll talk about a business model canvas. Okay. A business model canvas, why is just is slide 14. Your business model canvas basically it's a something that you do to outline the fundamentals of your business, right? So what is my business about, and what do I want my business to be about? What is it? How is it going to work? How am I going to use it? Is something that you might want to start thinking about when you think about a business model canvas, right? So the business model canvas helps you outline your business, basically, like what are my customers I'm looking for, what are my target customers, what is the relationship I want with my customers, you know, how am I going to, you know, sell this product, website, social media, where am I going to do my marketing, you know, it tells you, okay, where am my revenue going to be coming from, what's my revenue stream, where am I going to be generating money from, if I'm selling this product, am I selling this product to people that buy it one time and don't buy it again? Or am I going to be making sure that I have what they call reoccurring sales, right? So repeat business, right? So people will come back to me after they buy the product the first time and they will come and buy again. Another thing that the business Mother Canvas will help you do is figure out what your resources are. Like, what do I need for this business? People, where am I going to get the money? How do I brand this? What equipment am I going to use to create this business? Who are your partners? Who are your suppliers? So if you're selling, you're creating shoes, where do you buy the leather from, or where do you buy the raw material from to create the shoes? Who are my suppliers? So key partners. If you're a restaurant, who are the people that I get my food supply from, right? Who comes and deliver my salad? So those are ideas of partners. Like, who am I going to partner with to make my business successful, or to get the business, you know, to run smoothly, right? Cost of the structure, you know, how much is the business going to cost me to set it up? Value property, how different is my product and service from the rest? How I think about uniqueness, which I mentioned earlier. How unique is my business, right? So that's something that you want to think about. Are we able to pull up the business model canvas?
No, not yet. I'm looking for your deck.
I just want to give them kind of like a visual. I mean, I might have to send you this to load up later. But I wanted them to be able to see. So I would take it as a few step back, right? So does anybody knows what business model canvas is?
Oh yeah, I
Anybody?
know it. Yeah.
Who is
So
who
I
is
know
that?
yeah, I'm Hitesh.
Okay, Hitesh, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's a business model canvas?
So business model canvas is like a plan for your business. So it has certain factors like revenue, unique value proposition, your profits, losses, etc. that maintain. It's like a data for your business and progress, like a budgeting, a budgeting like sheet or something like that. It's the same thing, but it's like a thing for a business where you record all the stuff and record your progresses, losses, everything.
Okay, so that's a really good summary. So just think about a business model. Think of a business model canvas as what you use to outline your business, right? I want to outline what I need, where I'm going, what I'm going to do. That's what you need. When you think of business model canvas, think about something that helps you outline what you are going to be doing and what you need to do. The nine key steps. I want you to write this down. I need you all to write this business model canvas because I want you all to look at it later on. I want you to go take a look at it and just read through it. I think we even have a deck. We have a document in Google Classroom that explains in details, what a business model canvas looks like and what it is and why it exists, right? It talks about the customer segments. One of the 9 building blocks of a business canvas is, customer segment, customer relationship, channels, revenue streams, key activities, key resources, key partners, cost structure, and value proposition. And I've touched on all of this, in some ways. Who are my customers? That's the customer segment, right? What is the relationships that I have with my customers? What channels am I going to use to put my product out there or to sell my products? Is it going to be on my website? Is it going to be on social media? What are my revenue streams? How am I going to make money with this product? Key activities. What am I going to do, to make sure that, my products are not just created and they stay in the manufacturing plant, but they are out there. Resources, the people that employees, equipments, what are the materials that are needed to produce my product, right? Partners, who am I going to partner with? If it's a service, for example, who am I going to partner with to make sure that I can provide the service that I need to provide to my clients, right? Cost structure, where is the money going to come from? How am I going to get this money? Value proposition. Is my business unique? Is this a business that I'm going to be successful in because I have a market? I know I keep saying niche. Do you people understand what I mean by niche market? A unique market. I have a group of people that this business or this product or this service is just for them, or it will appeal to them, right? Any questions? Okay, so what is it all about, or what is it for? What is it all for? Sorry, what is it all for? My God, where did I get about? What is it all for? Right? What's the purpose of the business? Impact. What are my goals? What are we going to be giving back? Right? So again, as you look into the canvas, the business model canvas, you have to also think about, okay, what is this business all about? What is the purpose? Impact, goals. What are the goals? What do I want to achieve? Right? The business, it should mean something not only to you but to those that you want to engage, right? Where do I start? What do I want to do with this, right? So just think about all of that as you go along, right? So there are some questions that you're going to ask yourself as you start looking at your business model canvas, and those questions are going to help you basically shape the business plan, or shape, your ideas, to basically make sense not only for you but for the consumer. So you start planning out your purpose, the impact, the goals, giving back, all of that, right? Am I making sense? Any questions? So we're going to continue with the business model canvas in the sense that we're going to look into it. Do you have that slide? It says slide 18. I don't know if we're even on the same page. Crystal, do you have that? Slide 18.
That's what it is now. What is it all for? What's the title of the one you have?
The title is Business Model Canvas Continues.
No, that debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio I have.
Okay. But let me just continue on this.
I think you guys are looking at Professor Mimi. This is Rosie. I think you are looking at a different slide deck than what Crystal has up right now. So you're looking at the applications of business. Is what I'm thinking, because that what you're reading from is from the applications of business.
Oh, so we have two different decks. There's some
decks. Because today's class is supposed to be the fundamentals of business.
Okay. Okay.
I think that might be the issue.
Yeah, because I have the slide I have says the deck says fundamental of business.
Okay. Does it say fundamentals?
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, does it say fundamentals applications of business? Because the one I'm looking at
of business.
Okay.
It just says fundamental business. So scholars, I'm going to share this deck that I'm talking from, because I think I need you to see, so you can be able to relate like what I'm saying, right? So the business canvas model. Thanks, Rosie.
No problem.
When you start working on that, there are a few things that I want you to keep in mind, right? So if you're going to do a t-shirt business, a food truck business, I know that some of us have mentioned that we have areas where we have interest in, like, car detailing, for example, that Stephen mentioned. Was it Stephen? Harlem, right? Harlem, the car service cleaning business that you mentioned. You want to start thinking, as you start looking at the business model canvas, okay, if I was to do a car service, who are my customers, right? It's a good one because almost everybody owns a car. I want to say 75 to 80% of people have a car. So, okay, who are the people that I want to target, right? That's your customer segment, right? How am I going to go about building relationships with these people? How am I going to let them know that I have this car service business that I want to sell to them? How am I going to make money from selling this to them? I want you to think about all of these things as you go along. And again, I will share this deck. We have the 9 building blocks of a business model canvas. So as you're going through and writing, just keep in mind that you should actually apply this to your actual business or what you're thinking of doing or creating as a business down the line, right? So that you have some sort of an idea of where you're going. Am I making sense? We can nod or we can just say yeah. All right. Remember I say it's gonna be interactive. Now that we're mixed up, the deck is mixed up. We're gonna be very, very creative, right? And like I said earlier, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. There's no dumb questions. We can only get better by asking questions and understanding things that we did not understand before, right? So, any questions so far in terms of the business model canvas? No, we're good. Justin, you're good. I see you nodding. Okay, that means good. Awesome. All right. So, if we don't have no questions about business model canvas, beside Hitish, I would like Maria to tell me what she thinks a business model canvas is all about. Maria, are you on mute? Do we still have Maria in class? All right, Bella, can you? Oh, you're there, Maria? Okay, thank you. Go ahead. You're still on mute.
She may be having some sound issues, some audio issues.
All right, Bella, you want to try? What's your take on the business model canvas? What do you think a business model canvas is?
A plan on how you have your business.
Simple as that. You plan out how you're gonna you plan out how you're gonna create your business, right? It's kind of like a guide, right? Let's think about it as a guide. It's gonna guide us in getting our business from, from a thought to a creation, right? What about you, Kayla? Can you hear
What was
us,
the
Kayla?
question?
What is your understanding of a business model canvas? I'm gonna share. I'm gonna try to share. Okay, Crystal, because I want them to see some of this because we have like
You
4
have
more minutes.
rights. You have rights
Okay.
to share.
Okay.
Where you show us how to start our own business and place it.
Okay, what was that? So good. So Kayla, basically, a business model canvas helps you outline your business. I know you joined, you were a little bit late, but it helps you outline your business. So it's kind of like a business plan, but you write it down. Okay, so who are my customers, or who are the people that I'm targeting as customers? When I create this T-shirt, who do I want to sell to? Right? How am I going to sell this T-shirt? How am I going to get this T-shirt from where I produce it or manufacture it to Kayla, right? How am I going to make sure that I have what I need to be able to manufacture the T-shirt? Thank you, Steven. Good. It shows how a business works and what it needs to succeed. So it helps you plan and outline the business before you create it. Okay. And like I said, we can talk again later if you have questions. I know that you came in at the end. I'm trying to share. Could you see? Are you able to see? Am I able to share?
There's nothing yet. I don't know if it's coming up.
Nothing there. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
you
try.
have. Yeah, I enabled it so you're able to share.
Okay. Let me know if you can see. You can see my screen.
It's
You
buffering.
can? Is it big?
It's black right now. Looks like it's buffering. There.
You can see it?
You're in that Google Classroom. You can see your screen.
Okay. That's not where we want to be. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna go in here just because I want you to have a visual and see, right? So Remember when I talked about the business model canvas? This is the slide I was talking about, and I'm gonna have this shared, okay, so you all can see it, right? What is it? How does it work? How do I use it, right? And I mentioned the 9 building blocks. Here are the 9 building blocks. You're gonna be able
It's
to go
not
in.
showing yet.
It's not showing yet.
No, not yet, Dr. Mimi.
It's still blank.
It's not blank, it's just showing the title in the classroom.
Yeah, it's a different screen. It's not the actual PowerPoint.
It's not showing the
It's not.
canvas and the steps.
It's a blank screen. Let me know if
Okay, now we see the PowerPoint. It's
now
not
you see the
in
PowerPoint.
presentation mode, but yeah.
Okay. Let me put it in presentation mode. So I need you all to see exactly so we're good now.
It's loading. There we go.
Okay. So remember when I talked about the 9 building blocks? Here's what I was referring to. Okay. This is going to be loaded up so y'all can take a look and play around. And please, I think even in Google Classroom, there's a document that Professor Jay had actually posted that has details on business model canvas. Okay. What is it all for, right? We talked about this already. I just want to give you a visual. Business model canvas continue basically talks to you about, let's explore the different um, let's discuss about the different businesses that you can do and how you can go ahead and outline your business model canvas, right? Now, technology and business, using technology to your benefit, understanding the use of understanding the technology use cases, right? Use technology to help you work smarter than harder. So I talked about, in the business model canvas, do I want to sell on social media, right? I'll be using technology to your advantage in terms of selling your products or your services, as just an example, right? So instead of working harder with technology, we can work smarter, especially when it comes to business. For example, if I'm a real estate agent and I want to show a house, I could do a visual tour. So somebody who is in another state and want to buy a house, say in New Jersey, they can actually go online and do a tour without necessarily being in New Jersey. That's me as a realtor using technology to my advantage, right? To making my business more successful. Now, if the person views the property and like it, they might show up and say, okay, maybe I want to take a look in person and then make an offer. But if they didn't have that opportunity, I might lose that customer, right? So that's an example of using technology to your advantage or making it work for you as opposed to not work for you. Debt income ratio. Basically, this talks about your income and your debt. I am happy that Professor Jay actually have examples here. I know that we are at 8:02. We started late, but I still wanted to share some of this so you can actually see them. And if you have questions, you can ask. It explains to you that, a lender generally looks for a ideal front end ratio to be no more than 28%. So it cannot be more than 28% in terms of the ratio that the lender wants to see before giving you their money, right? Or giving you working with you or doing business with you. If you have questions, these are like high end. I don't know if you want to get into details, but we have this in here so you can see some of the things that people look at when they think about doing business. If they're gonna go get money, what's your debt income ratio? That's something that you hear a lot in business. At your level, you could read into it, and if you have questions, you can ask. But you're probably not gonna deal with this a lot now. In reality, however, depending on your credit score, like I'm reading the last bullet, how much you have in your savings and the size of your down payment, lenders may accept higher ratios. Limits varies depending on the lender and the type of loan. So he's talking about taking a loan to do a business. If you want to take a loan, the lender is going to be looking at, okay, how can is this person able to pay my loan back? And for me to know that this person can pay my loan back, I need to see if they're risky creditor, right? Would they be people that will pay, or would they not be able to pay me back? All of those things are things that banks or lenders would consider before giving you money to do business, right? Again, if you want to get into details, we can connect and get into details, right? What is P and L? P and N is profit and loss. So P stands for profit, L stands for loss. Businesses need to be paid before you get paid, right? Your business needs to be basically paid in the sense that you have to take care of your operating budget. Operating budget means the things that you have to pay or you have to do to be able to run a business. For example, if you have to buy materials, if you have to pay rent, if you have to pay light, all of those are your operating budget, right? What am I going to need to be able to run my business, my expenses? My profit margin is basically making sure that whatever I bring in, I subtract all of these expenditures, operation budgets, expenses, labor, and all of that. And then whatever is left is the profit, right? So your revenue, you subtract all the different things that you needed to operate or to run the business or to create the product or to get the service, to provide the service. When you take that out of the money that you get from selling the product, then you have a profit. Did that make sense? Does that make sense?
So
Yes?
revenue is like the money before the expenses are paid for.
Revenue is the money that you get before you pay everything else out. And then, once you pay all in general, they'll say your overheads, right? You pay all the other things that you needed to pay after, like, cost of materials, cost of labor, cost of maybe lights, water, and all the good stuff. And then now that's when you start looking at profit. Okay? Did that make sense? We're 5 minutes above time. But I'm gonna keep going because I don't want us to stop halfway, right? So now, do we have questions or no? No? So if we don't have questions, I know we are like 6 minutes after. Who can tell me about what we've learned today? What have you learned today, Michael?
I learned about like what a small business is, like what the actual like laws are in place, or like what considers a small business. I
Mhm.
learned about like what an industry is, like the definition of industry. I learned
Okay,
about sectors, like different in like sectors of like the business itself.
great.
And I learned about how like depending on what business you're either more like service based or more like goods based, or it could be like a mix of both.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Now, Omobola, what about you?
Oh, well, we've learned about small businesses and like big businesses. We've learned about the building blocks of businesses, like like uh like uh revenue, all that type of stuff, like what we're trying to aim for. Like we also learned about how to make a mission statement and a vision statement. We've also had an example from SOAR itself to
Awesome.
show us.
Great. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So were we able to get the quiz going, Crystal or Tiana? Are we able to do that?
The quiz will be on Thursday. They just have to, it's in the chat of the survey that they're going to complete
No,
tonight.
sorry, not the quiz. When I looked at the class that, okay, so we don't have that. That's fine. Remember how we were trying to do the pre-class? I wanted to
Right,
do it.
those are on Thursdays. They do the assessments. Those
Okay.
ones, that'll be on Thursday.
All right. Okay, that's good. So Bella and Kayla, you wanna, any questions? Any questions, scholars?
Nicole has 2 questions. She says about the business model canvas.
Okay. Let me go into the chat.
Nicole C does.
All right, Nicole C. What was the question? I have 2 questions about the business model. Go ahead, shoot. What's the question, Nicosine?
I was looking at the Google Classroom at the business model Canva, and there were two categories, which include the customer, the relationship with the customer, and also the customer segment. So I just want to know, how do you build a like the right relationship between with the customer, and also what a customer segment is?
All right, so let's talk about customer segment first. All right. So customer segment is basically who are your target customers, right? So who am I trying to sell my product to? Who am I trying to sell my services to? Right? Does that make sense?
She nodded yes.
Okay, now let's talk about customer relationships. So, what kind of relationships do you have with your customer? This is vital because I'll tell you why. So, can your customers send emails and get a response back? Can your customers tell you how they feel about your product and you're receptive? Because if you listen to your customers, then you can be able to make them happy, or you'll be able to evolve, right? So what kind of relationships do you have with your customer? Are your customers able to send a comment? Do you, on your website, is there an area where your customers can go in there and say, okay, I have a question about this, and somebody gets back to them as soon as possible? That's customer relationships, right? And it's important to build that, because if you answer a question that a customer asks, that customer becomes very happy. What do you think is going to happen? When they need your product, they'll come back to you because they feel like they're heard. So that's an example of customer relationships. Did that make sense?
She nodded her head.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, of course, of course. So any more questions?
Stephen.
Yeah. What do you think is a good way to attract a lot of customers?
So the best way, so I think that, that's a good question in general, right? Because that's why we're here. And we want to build a business, but a business is nothing without our customers, correct? So what's a good way to attract customers? First, you need to find a product that is unique, right? And besides having a unique product, you need to be able to know who your target customers are. Remember, I said the customers, who are your customers? And once you know who your customers are, you need to build great relationships with them. Because if your customers know that you're listening to them, they're gonna like the product you're selling, and they're gonna come back and they will tell other people. There's nothing as good as a customer telling another person that, oh my God, I drank this water that Steven made, and the water was so great. And that customer comes and try it. That is a customer that you just got through another customer. What that means is your business is going to grow because your customers are actually doing the talking for you because they're happy. A customer who is not happy is not going to go outside there and tell people about your product. So to build your business, you need to be listening to your customer. Your product needs to be good though. It needs to be a top quality product. If you're selling shirts, and you say your shirt is cotton, it needs to be a cotton shirt. If it's a cotton t-shirt, you're selling, for example, t-shirt, you need to make sure that what you are marketing is actually what they're getting. What you are publicizing is what they're getting. What you're selling in terms of, telling them, okay, this is what I'm selling. Let them get what you tell them you're going to, send them, or what you're going to sell them as a product. And if you listen to them, you're going to grow your business. Because remember, your business is nothing without the customers. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Harlem.
Tatiana, we don't have anybody else?
Um,
Harlem.
what is profit margin?
So what is profit margin? Can anybody guess that? No takers? All
Is
right.
that like,
So
oh
go
no,
ahead.
no. I was gonna be like, that's how much of like your total like revenue is actually like profit.
I'm gonna have everybody I'm going to read, but I want everybody to also go out and look into this, because I know we didn't get into profit and loss a lot. But if you're going to do a business, you need to know, right? Your profit margin basically is the revenue from your sales, right? Right? The revenue from your sales. So I'm trying to, so how do I, so it says the amount by which revenue from sales exceeds costs in a business, right? But I'm trying to put it in a way that you all will understand.
They're going to have some of this too, and some of the other classes too. But I want to look at the time with them. I want to keep
I
in that
know.
if they don't have any questions, to ask to stay along with Dr. Mimi, she'll be happy to answer them. But you just make sure you guys have the survey. So if you don't have any questions, make sure you complete the survey, and you're free to go from class. But if you have other questions or anything, feel free, and Miss Dr. Mimi will answer those for you.
Yes, Bella and Kayla, if you want to also stay and we talk about what you missed and ask questions, that's fine. So the profit margin is the financial ratio used to determine the percentage of sales that a business retains as earning after expenses have been deducted, right? So basically, once your like I explained, once your expenses have been deducted, right? Whatever you have left, for example, 20% of profit. I want to make sure you understand this without, like, lower, like, bring it to a level you understand it. Okay, so business retains 20% from each. So whatever you make outside of everything else you've paid, right? That becomes your profit, right? And an example is you can 20% of your profit margin indicate that your business retains a ratio of 20%. Hold on, that doesn't explain well. Let me make sure I get this. Okay. Okay. So think about you have a business, right? Right? And in your business you make t-shirts. All right? And your t-shirts are sold at $10 each. Okay? However, when you went to produce this t-shirt, you spent $5. Are you with me? Hello?
They're shaking their head.
Yes.
Okay. So you paid $5, but you sold the t-shirt for $10. Right? So at that point, you made $50, you made $5 out on top of what you spent. So instead of selling the t-shirt for $5, you sold it for $10. So you made $5. But that $5 is not really your profit, right? The reason is because you still have to pay labor, you have to pay like say the t-shirt was $5, but you had to buy paint to design on the t-shirt. You had to pay the person that designed the t-shirt, right? So once you remove that, when you remove that person's salary, you remove the materials that you use and add it to the $5. Let's say it was $3. Now your profit is $2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You get it?
Yeah.
So your profit is basically after you've subtracted everything that you needed or that you spent before creating the product. So the labor, the material, the cost. So in this case, the t-shirt, the paint, the person who designed it, right? And if all of that was $8 and you sold it for $10, it means that your profit is like $2. Like it's like $2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
All
Did
right,
I
thank
answer your
you.
question?
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
You're welcome. So we have who else? We have Shayla.
No, no, their hands are raised. Everyone's
Okay,
done.
did Shayla and Bella leave? Nicole A, any questions?
Bella needed to because Bella needed to leave.
Oh, Bella needed to leave. What about
Yes.
Kayla? Kayla, you're here or you're good?
Kayla's still here.
I'm good.
All right, so Keller, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview, and if you have questions, you can ask later. So what we did today, we talked about the fundamental of business. And basically, when I think of fundamental of business, what I think about is a foundation, right? So when you build a house, you put down a foundation. Why do you put down a foundation? You put down a foundation so that your house can stay sturdy, right? So fundamental of business is basically laying the foundation of business to you, right? To you and your peers or the cohort, right? And so besides that, we talked about what we wanted to learn today, what we want to get out of the class. And what we wanted to learn today was to just understand what it is to start a business. How do you start a business? How do you get involved in business in general, right? And we looked at the different kind of businesses that exist, right? So you're going to have a nonprofit company, you're going to have for-profit company. We used our establishment as an example. Our organization, SOAR, was used as an example for a nonprofit business, right? And then you can use, let's say CVS is for profit business, right? They sell whatever they sell in there to make a profit. At SOAR, we provide a service. We don't need any profit. We just want to be able to provide a service to the folks that are our target audience, which is in this case is you all. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we also talked about small businesses versus big businesses, right? So what is a small business? A small business is a company that has either 500 people below, okay, or makes less than $7 million a year. I'll tell you why. I'll explain a little because we stayed on that for a little bit. A small business, according to the Small Business Administration of the United States, says that a business that makes 500,000 a year, that hires 500 people, sorry, and makes less than 7 million a year is a small business. So now, if you own a business and one year you decide to you hire one extra person, you had 500 employees already and you hired one extra person, that makes you being classified as a big business. You automatically becomes a big business because you have 501, right? So it's a classification that businesses don't determine. The government determines that. So if you have 500 employees, you are a small business. If you have 501 employees, you are a big business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Again, if you make 7 million and below, you are a small business. If you make 7 million $1, you are now classified as a big business as well. Okay. That what we spoke about small business. There was an activity that I think you missed. It was us. We're asking that the scholars take 2 minutes to write down a business, any business. What if they think about, if you're in this class, I know I didn't ask you, but do you have a business in mind?
Not in particular, but I just started doing lashes. So, yeah.
Okay. So you don't have any business in mind, but are you planning to start a business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're planning to study business in college or just in college?
Oh, you asking, am I in college?
No, are you planning to study business in college?
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. I'm just making my notes. I'm making notes for myself. So this is the thing, right? If you don't have a business in mind, just imagine, right? Something that you like doing. Let's say you like cooking, right? So imagine that you have a restaurant, right? Or a coffee shop. What are you going to do in this restaurant that will make you different from all the other restaurants that are maybe on the same street, right? If you have a coffee shop, what are you going to sell that will make you unique and different from everybody else that owns a coffee shop in that city or in that town or on that street, right? So we just said to the student, write down a business that you like to start and why. The reason I'm saying different is because, or unique, is because it's the why. So if I open a coffee shop next to Starbucks, what is going to make my coffee shop unique and different from Starbucks, right? I'm not going to open one, and I don't advise, but it's an example, okay? I might want to say, okay, I'm going to have a coffee shop where, for example, you can come in there with your pets. Somebody mentioned, and I think it was Maria. They wanted
Excuse
to.
me, Dr. Mimi, I'm so sorry, but it's getting kind of late, and
Okay.
yeah, we're
Kayla
gonna
has
have
to
to
go.
wrap it up.
Okay. All right. So it's 8:23. I guess it's late. Kayla, but if you have any question, the slide deck